Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade, and today I just got home from seeing 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta and starring Ray Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, and Alfie Williams. And this is, of course, the direct follow-up to 28 Years Later from last year. These two were shot back to back, but also it's the fourth installment overall in the 28 Days Later franchise. And I absolutely love the 28 Days Later movies. I love the first three installments. Days Later is one of the greatest zombie movies of all time. So is Weeks Later. I thoroughly enjoyed 28 Years Later, though I understand that some people had their problems with that film. It does kind of abruptly start out like it's about one thing and then becomes about another, but I didn't mind that. It's a Danny Boyle film, and honestly, that is kind of something that he likes to do, so I didn't mind it that much, but I can understand, people taking issue with that. And now, fast forward to the Bone Temple, 28 Years Later, the Bone Temple, which obviously, based on what I just told you, this was easily one of my most anticipated movies of 2026. I figured we were going to start on a high note. Not only is it the fourth installment in this franchise, but it's helmed by Nia DaCosta. Firstly, love seeing a black woman direct, but secondly, she masterfully directed the 2021 Candyman reboot, which I thoroughly enjoyed. So it's safe to say I went into this, and also she directed this while Alex Garland returned to write it. I think Danny Boyle is just a producer on this one, so it's safe to say going into this one, my expectations were through the roof, and I'm happy to say that for the most part, save from a few gripes, my expectations were met. This is another solid installment in this long-running horror franchise. There isn't a single bad film in this franchise yet, and the plan is to make a new trilogy. I think there's another one on its way in the future. This is a completely vague, spoiler-free review, but let's just say, the door is left open for there to be more, and I hope to see more from this franchise, and I have faith in them now because there hasn't been a bad movie yet, 4 movies in, and with a horror movie franchise, that is impressive. I will just go ahead and get the bad out of the way first. I will say that, I won't say that I minded this one being, it's more focused, it's more contained, it's more compact than a lot of the previous installments. And as a result of that, because you don't really go around much and you're with some of these characters who are returning from the previous film, there are moments that did feel a little stagnant. I'm just kind of like, can something else happen here? But the more it went on, the more they elaborated on things, I was like, the more it made sense, the more those slow moments added up, and near the end came full circle into a resolution and to a reveal that was like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand why we had that. And again, some of my all-time favorite movies are slow burns. I don't mind slow moving things. I don't need there to be, and indeed, this franchise has never been nonstop zombie action and zombie gore galore. None of the previous films have that, so I wasn't expecting this one to. But I will say there are just a few moments where it's more like, okay, I get it. Can we move on now? That sort of thing, if you know what I mean. Like, there are moments that were just unnecessarily slow. But like I said, when it was all said and done, I was like, okay, I get it. It does lead to something that is pretty important. So okay, I'll let you get by. I will also say that this isn't a spoiler. You see him in the trailer. Jack O'Connell and the crazy. I guess this is a light spoiler if you haven't seen 28 Years Later. So feel free to click away if you haven't seen that movie. But Jack O'Connell and the crazy Teletubby crew from 28 Years Later are back. They are more imposing in this film than they were at the very end of 28 Years Later. They definitely have more to do this time around. This is more or less their movie, but they didn't end up being as big of a deal as I would have hoped. And that's all I'll say. I thought it was gonna, really lead to something. There are there are some moments where I was like, God damn, but just not as big of a deal as I would have hoped. Ray Fiennes is back. Alfie Williams is back. Both of them are great in this. They were great in 28 Years Later. They gave great performances here. Really solid characters, though I wish Alfie Williams, the kid from 28 Years Later, was given more to do. But other than that, solid performances across the board. And I will say the ending put a big smile on my face. Also, this is just a heads up. I will say, just to let y'all know, go back and rewatch the first 3 movies before you see this one. This one pretty much picks up directly after 28 Years Later, and you do kind of need to know like who everybody is and what's going on to kind of, I feel like, appreciate this one a little bit more. It would really help if you didn't go in blind to this one. So I'll throw that out there as well. But wrapping it up, overall, this was another solid installment in this franchise. Not my all-time favorite. Sometimes those slow moments did get to me, and I will say, yeah, like the Jimmy Threat, that's his name, Jimmy Crystal, Jack O'Connell's character. I just thought it was going to be a bigger deal than it ended up being, but he does give a solid performance, and that whole crew, they definitely do have their moments. And also, I just feel like Spike, the kid, was a little bit underused here, more so than he was in 28 Years Later, where that was very much his movie, and he was terrific in it. I just felt like I could see a bit more of him, but other than that, I had a blast watching this one. It's another solid installment in this awesome zombie franchise, and it's a 9 out of 10 for me for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Definitely worth checking out on the big screen. This has been another edition of Wade Watches. Have you all seen 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple? If you have, please feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you lovely people next time. Peace.